During my stay in Italy, I learned that I was taken for an exchange program in St. Petersburg. As I took the decision after my trip to Nepal to not take planes anymore for the environment, I decided to go to Russia by train. So I first went back to France to see my family and I stayed there 1 month. Then I started my journey to Russia. Keep in mind that at this time the number of cases were going down. It was the only moment I could move abroad. My first stop was Germany. Even though I stayed 5 days, I didn't do any footage, sorry. Then I went to Poland. I also stayed in the city for a few days. And then, by following some random people in the streets, I ended up in a protest. Someone got arrested by the police for putting a rainbow flag on a statue. So yeah, the Polish people decided to do a protest. Then I went by bus to the Baltic countries. It was my first time in these countries and I didn't know anything about them. I guess I like this feeling of being like a child and discovering everything. I really like to avoid looking at photos and videos before going to a place, to not create any expectancy and just cherish the first thing that strikes my heart. I love how the Baltic countries' capitals are all unique and with different vibes proper to their own history. Then my plan was to stay 2 weeks working in Tallinn until I get my visa and enter Russia. But nope. Because of the situation, the borders were closed. So I stayed in Estonia until they would open. So I stayed 1 month, then 2, then 3, well, until January. Then I understood that the borders actually won't open before next summer. Living in a new country also means for me that I have to find new exciting ways to keep my sustainable lifestyle and my zero waste challenge. I'm so happy because I found a shop that sells unsold veggies half price. It also turns out that during my stay, the first physical zero waste shop opened. It shows that this movement is increasing and that there are more and more demands even in smaller cities. And I really think that small acts make the difference. Fortunately, I could give my summer clothes and get second-hand winter clothes in charity shops. One thing that surprised me is how there are still some tensions between the communities, the Estonians and the Estonian Russians. For example, some of my friends were born and raised in Estonia, but their parents are Russian. And they told me, they go to different schools, there are schools for Estonians and schools for the Russian communities, and how they still don't feel fully accepted nowadays. But hopefully, I felt during my stay that this is slowly changing, and that the new generation is way more accepting. I also kept studying as my classes are online, but not only for school, also for myself, about things that I find interesting, like foreign languages or how to become a better person. Here, for example, I was studying one of my first Swedish lessons. I also did my best to continue supporting causes that I care about, whether it was creating a chain to support the people in Belarus, or here it was to show support against the new laws in Poland. I really love how I got to discover Estonian culture. From the simplest rules, like, for example, you have to wear a reflector on you during winter times. I also like that the public transport is free for people living here. Most of the time it's very calm and nobody's talking. And for me it was a bit weird at the beginning because I'm used that in other countries it's really noisy. But I think it reflects well the image of one can have of an Estonian person who will be more introverted and discreet. I'm very lucky to have been able to learn about Estonian traditions and see how they celebrate Christmas, for example. I feel like one of the best ways to travel is actually to live with the locals.
So how have you been? You never got to go to Moscow.
Well, the last news I had was that they will open the borders next summer. So that's why I decided to, in January or February, I will move to Stockholm. And I will...
Stockholm?
Yeah! I also took the decision to join the ESN organization, which organizes events for international students coming to Estonia.
Ice skating next week on Saturday, 6:45 here, exactly here.
Wait, with all seriousness, really.
And there I met awesome people that I won't forget. You know, these kinds of people with whom our laughter says more than our words. We organized a secret Santa together, which means that I do a gift for someone I've drawn lots, and I received a gift from someone anonymous. I'm not interested in anything material. I suggested to just write a letter about them. That's enough for me. And it was actually literally one of the best gifts I ever had. A diary full of drawing, personal stories, photos, and questions to reflect.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, every 5 years, I gave it to someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, every 5 years, I gave it to someone.
And then comes the time to say goodbye. I decided to keep going on my way and follow my curiosity to discover the world by living in another country. Curiosity definitely opens doors and leads us to new paths. You live in new circumstances and discover how you deal with them. You learn from them as you go. For me, it takes courage to say goodbye. So I try to say to myself that when it's hard to say goodbye, it's because a new hello awaits me.
Thank you, Fanny, for stopping.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And I wish you all the best for your
Yeah,
you too.
Have a safe trip and
Yeah.
I'm sure I will see you again, I'm sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Bye.
I have this odd sensation of being homesick of places I've never been, of being attracted by unfamiliar grounds, feeling that I can go anywhere and that the possibilities are endless, feeling that no matter where I am, it's only the beginning of an exciting unfolding tale. A part of my heart will stay in Tallinn, but I guess this is the price I have to pay for loving these people.